Hey Nuggets, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I am going to be doing facial sketches. Well, only one, not sketches. So a quick disclaimer, don't come for me if it looks too difficult or like I don't know what I'm talking about. I just got good at doing this. I'm gonna try my best to really explain how to do this properly, and I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible as I can. So that did not even sound right, but yeah. So don't mind all these layers. Obviously it's from the previous ones that I just did. But first of all, make sure you have a new layer, and make sure your background isn't purely white. Make sure it's like gray, because it's easier that way on your eyes as well. Also, the sketching brush I'm using is free. I'm going to link it down in the description where I got it from. It's from Gumroad and it's a free download. And yeah, that's all I needed to say. Just get any picture on Pinterest that looks easy to you to do. So I picked this one. If you want to use the same picture, then I'm going to upload it on my community tab so you can follow along. First of all, I'm going to start off with a circle. To get a perfect circle, when you're doing it on Procreate, make sure you hold down and then it should tell you to edit the shape, and then you would see these two words at the top and just pick circle, so it makes it into a perfect circle for you. Then after you do that, on a new layer, I usually don't use a new layer for this, but I hate going back and then I mess up the circle. So now what you want to do is have this line in the middle, because it helps you do the face shape well, I guess. Okay, like that, and then do a cross like that. Now going back on that circle, this is the most hardest part for me, to be honest, so just take your time. So I'm starting off at the jawline. It doesn't have to be perfect right now, it's just rough sketches. Right now the chin is another hard part for me to do when I get to that point. I really rely on the liquefying tool a lot when I do these sketches. It really helps. So when I start doing traditional sketches, like on paper, pencil, I'm too used to this. Okay, so I think this looks alright. Now I'm gonna make a new layer, and now I'm gonna do the lips. I like to work my way up from the lips, then the nose, and then the eyes. That's how I've been doing these other sketches that you see. So I don't have a certain way I do the lips. I just zoom closer and just move my pencil to make it look like the same shape as much as I can. But yeah, as I'm saying, what works for me won't work for you. As you can see, this looks crazy. But as you go along, you can just use this tool right here to move it or make it bigger or smaller. And times like this is when the liquefying tool comes in, so make sure it's like not too big. For now it looks similar. As long as it looks similar, that's all that I care about. Each facial feature that I do is going to have its own layer, just in case I need to move it like I said, or change it with the liquefying tool, because if it all is on the same layer, then it's gonna get affected, and I don't want to ruin anything that I just did. At the end, I put all of it together and then fix it that way in a whole, if that makes any sense. So this is how I do the nose. I actually learned how to do this on a YouTube video where she was showing how you could sketch a nose. So the tip of her nose is directly to like where the middle of her mouth is. Make a circle like that, and again, like I said, do the circle and hold down on your pencil, and then choose the circle, and it creates a perfect circle for you. Now I'm gonna duplicate this 2 times, because I'm gonna do this, put it next to each other like that, and then the other one like that. Merge those layers together and just lighten it up a little bit, in case if yours turned out darker. Now make a new layer to actually do the nose. So this is where you gotta really pay attention, okay? Since her nose is facing this way, this will low-key be difficult to get it that way, but no need to worry. Okay, I'm curving this area like this, and then this area like so. And I'm just going to make this go away so you can see that it's turning into a nose, a shape of a nose. Then do the same thing on the other side. So I'm not curving it like here on the other side of the circle, just because like I'm really trying to get the shape the same way. So you see how it's smaller on the side and it's bigger on the other side, so I gotta fix this side. And hide that layer just to make sure that you're doing it right, and keep going in and out just to make sure that the nose is in the right angle. And if you feel like you don't need this, you can keep it hidden and then delete when you're done. Now I'm looking and checking if it's the right size. So for now the nose is fine. We can start doing the eyes right now, and this is gonna be the hardest part of this. Forget this cross that I did because it's really not the right angle. You can cross it out and do it again. Okay, that looks so much better. So we're only going to be doing one side because we're going to duplicate it to the other side, so we don't have to try to do it again. So I don't have a specific way I do this. I guess I do it free-handedly, and I know this is like really not a good thing. I'm moving that little beginning that I did right here. So when you do eyes, it always starts off to where her nose ends, like that part of the nose. So you make sure it's like right there. Just look at the eyes and just try to get the shape right as much as you can. That's all I can say. I think that's a pretty good eye shape right there. I'm just gonna make it a little bigger to fit her face. Oh yeah, and when you do sketches, don't worry about it looking exactly like your reference. It doesn't need to. It just means that you're finding your art style. It doesn't have to look exactly the same because you're still different. As long as you got the angles right and all that, like that's all that matters. So now just duplicate this and flip it to the other side. So I might have to fix this eye a little bit because the shape is a little different from how it looks in the picture. Now I'm using the liquefying tool to really get that shape right. Okay, for now it looks fine. So now I'm gonna go back onto the face because we need to fix it. So you see how like the side of her head right here, the eyes gotta be a bit closer to that. Make sure your liquefying brush is a little bit big, and we're gonna start fixing this. I'm just gonna fix the mouth a little bit. I probably should have chosen someone with a face forward angle, but oh well. I'm gonna go back and make the nose a little bit bigger to match the new size. Then I think I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit bigger. At this point, you're not gonna need that little cross anymore. It's basically just a guideline, and I think she's starting to look really nice. I actually think it looks like her. Just need to fix up the eyes a little bit more. I'm gonna put the layers together of the eyes. Now the new layer is her eyebrows. So make like a squarish. Eyebrows are not even that hard to do. let's just call this a rough draft. I don't focus too much on the brows because I fix it later anyway. And I'm just gonna use the liquefying tool. Okay, now this last layer is the little circle in the eyes. I really gotta fix this eye. The eye shape is killing me. Okay, there we go. I think I finally got it to look nice. At this point, you're just gonna keep fixing, making it look decent. I'm gonna come right back when I feel like I've fixed it, because right now I'm just adjusting it to how I think it should look like. You gotta really be patient with this part because this is where it gets annoying because you think that it's not looking right. And yeah, so when I feel like it's starting to look right, then I'm gonna come back and then explain the next thing that I'm gonna do in this video. Alright, I'm back. I don't know if you can tell a difference, but all I did was I was looking carefully on it. I was looking carefully and making sure everything looked right. So what I was mostly changing was her eye shape. It was what was bugging me the most. And I made her eyebrows a little, actually no, I got her eyes a bit lower down her face to go with the curve, because when I was zooming out, it looked like her eyes was way too high up, so it was not looking right. Basically, anything that you see that isn't looking right, just either change it with the liquefying tool, this arrow right here to move it, and I think right now it's looking okay. I'm going to go back on the face shape and remove this from the circle. It still looks a little odd like when I move it like this, but I feel like that's fine because when you move the reference, the eyes are not exactly like aligned the same. But I'll fix that like lastly. Right now, in this angle right here, it looks fine. I know the nose isn't completely the right shape, but when I shade it like I did with this one yesterday, the nose should look about the same. I'm still new with the whole nose shape, but yeah. The next thing I want to do is the lashes. The lashes have become like one of my favorite things to do. Oh yeah, and if you also want, you can, the circle you did in the eye, you can actually just merge it together like that. And also, because the eyes are merged, just use the selection tool and move it that if you need. The lip shape is still a little odd to me, but right now she looks fine. Okay, lashes. So how I'm doing the lashes, I'm using a lash set that is also free. To be honest, I can't remember, but when I went on this creator's Gumroad page, all of her brushes were free. So I'm gonna link in the description where this set is from, but I'm using the eyelashes that come in the eyelash brush that come in this set, and it's the brush I used for these lashes on here. Really easy. It doesn't have to look like the picture, right? Because in this reference I can't exactly see how her lashes look, so I'm just gonna do this in upward motions. And then what I do is I make another layer. I do this so many times until like I have the exact eyelash shape that I want. Sometimes I turn it like this when I get into the side of it. So when I'm done with that, I just put all the layers together. Duplicate it to put it on this side. And then I come back to that eyelash and continue this one. So make it bigger like that. Just making it as dramatic as I want it to. And there we go. I'm gonna stop there and then go back to this one and perfect this lash. If you want me to go in depth with this, I will. And that is basically how I do the lashes on my drawing that I did previously. Now going back on the eyes, like there's just a lot of detailing. This video might be a little bit long, so I'm going back on my sketching brush and just make this a little neater. So I'm creating the eyelid under her eye, the crease under her eye, I mean. And it should actually start coming together. At this point, this is where we're making everything look neater. When we're done with that, I'm gonna show you how I shaded it a little bit so it had more shape, I guess. Yeah, just go back to each layer. Wait, I'm just deleting the pattern I did to do the nose. So just go back on each layer of features that you did and make it neater. What I did with these two that I did, I actually made a new layer and went over all of the features that I did and then deleted the rough draft, but I'm being lazy in this one, so I'm just going over the other layers and then I'm gonna put all of these together when I have perfected it. Oh yeah, and the ears is the last thing that I do in these drawings, because it's so easy. You don't really gotta worry about the shape that much, honestly. I gotta fix the face shape again. So this chin needs to come a little bit closer to where I have. I don't want to be on one thing for too long, so I just move my way up and then I come back. So for the nose, to make the shape better for the angle of her face that she's in, I'm putting my pencil on the side like this. If you don't have an Apple Pencil, just use a painting brush on low opacity, or actually just use this like a blunt fade. But I was just used to using my Apple Pencil with the pencil facing sideways. I can't even explain it. And you're just gonna smudge it like that. The next place I actually want to use the blunt fade is right here. And just smudge it out. And there, it makes the sketch look so much better. I'm gonna come back when I'm doing something new that I have to explain. For right now, I'm just gonna make the lines a bit sharper, make it look neat, and then after I've done all that, I'll come back and explain new things like coloring in her eyes and more shading around her face and stuff. And yeah. Okay, I'm back again, and I have created an empty layer right there. And in this one, I am going to be sketching out the ears. Obviously in the reference, I can't see where the ears are, but I do think they're like possibly here. Going back here to erase this line. Then I'm just gonna make this bigger with the liquefying tool. And then you're just doing like curves like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to, in this new layer, I think this is the final one because I'm going to go back to the layer where we did the little shading on the nose and the eyes. I'm just using this one to fill in any darker spots. But like I said though, I don't want to mess up on anything on here. So just, if you need to still make new layers, just do that, because you're going to merge it down all together when you feel like everything looks perfect-ish. So yeah. By the way, I'm using the same brush to do this. All I'm doing is pressing down on the pencil. She's coming together. I know the proportions possibly isn't accurate, like that accurate, but it still looks okay. Like before, I would never be able to actually complete this. So that's why, like, right now I'm just really proud of myself that I could do this. Oh my gosh. I'm really hoping that a lot of you have been able to follow along in this tutorial so far, because I know I'm not the best at explaining anything in my tutorial. I'm just trying as best as I can and just showing you how I do this. Like, I know what works for me isn't going to work for everyone else. You're just going to have to just learn visually and try it out for yourself, or go look for other videos if mine didn't help. But yeah, I'm trying and I'm still new at this, so if there's anything you want to teach me in the comments, like I should do next time in a tutorial like this, please let me know. Now I am going to continue the shading process with the medium blunt fade, and I'm going to be shading like on her lip a little bit. And by the way, the shading doesn't have to be perfect. Just removing the excess outside of the drawing. I don't do a lot of shading on this part just because I like how it is like in the sketch phases. But for now, I am done. Like, I don't know what else I would have to do on here. And now, moving the angle of the picture this way, it doesn't even look bad anymore. It looks fine. I really like it. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope that you liked it. I tried my best to make sure that it was easy to follow. I know at some point I probably lost you in my explanation. I will do another tutorial when I get better myself, so I can explain to you properly how to get the angles right, the eye shapes and other features on the face right, easier in the future. As always, if you got any questions, tell me in the comments. I'll try my best to help you. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you in my next video.